What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we're covering Sun in the Seventh. What happens when the sun, your life's purpose, your ego, your vitality, your career, your soul's purpose comes into the seventh house, which is the house of other people, partnership. It represents our marriage. It represents our relationships with people in general, whether it be business, uh, you know, romantic, whatever. It's like it's the house of like uh the legalities. So it could represent like the courthouse. So lawyers can be seen from the seventh house. Pretty good house, but overall it's a house that shows us about that other side of ourselves we aren't really conscious of. So the ascendant is everything we show to the world, and the descendant, the seventh house, is what we're looking for in a partner. All right, and these qualities are still within us. It's just that we seek them out in others. All right. So with sun being the soul's purpose, right, and sign and house placement being important in this incarnation, this like it's not like a lot of pressure because Sun's ego is here to be sacrificed. It's here to be balanced. So if you have Sun in the seventh house, it's one of two things. This is one of many things, but one of two main things, right? You're here to just experience that time where we merge with another human being and we define our lives through our partner and our marriage. That's what you're very much here so to experience. Then the next side is you in a past life, many past lives, were very cooperative or or balanced in your approach with others. You could have been very dominating. You could have been, egotistical. And this incarnation is about taking a back seat and just experiencing what it's like to be the other. So, sun in the angles really, really, really colors the person's life. It shows where their main focus is going to be. So, with your sun in the house of partnership and marriage, you're going to be very much so concerned with who am I going to be with? So people with sun in the seventh don't like to be alone. So that's one of the things that you have to, because you can't love anybody until you love yourself. Okay, so although you don't like to be alone, I would suggest at some time, whether it be early in your life, whatever, just take some time and not be obsessed about relationships and just take it easy, build you. Because once you do enter into that union or even just a regular relationship, there's a huge potential to lose yourself. So, one of my suggestions is to develop your sense of identity before getting married or even entering into a relationship. All right? Next thing with Sun here is that, you know, like I said, it's not so much about you. All right? So, Sun is working on being a team player. This is where sign is gonna come into. As much as you're gonna feel like, because that's why I said next part here is like you're experiencing this because you felt like, you know confident, you feel like somebody, all right, and you feel a little bit above others. You're whatever your sign is, you're in the seventh house, you're gonna seek to really exert those qualities on people. So if you're an Aries sun in the seventh, you're gonna be really, really, really dominating and aggressive towards your partner. If it's Taurus, you're gonna expect and want to have all your relationships be materially, backed, and it's gonna be a lot about about that luxury. Okay, you'll measure your relationships by that. If it's Gemini, you're probably gonna be a little bit forceful in teaching and showing your information to your partner. So you're really, and then the negative qualities as well. Okay, so this is good and bad, but like I said, it's really about becoming a team player and realize like, okay, I, I that's why I said cultivate your sense of self. It's about I know who I am, but this is who I am in this union. All right, does that make sense? All right. Next, so as far as women go, right? Women with sun in the seventh. This ultimately we look at sun and we're gonna look at Jupiter to see what your husband is really gonna look like. Your husband, the very much so grown up and wise part of your husband is gonna be wrapped up in his in the Jupiter where Jupiter is in your chart. But the sun and the aspects to your son are going to show a lot about who your husband and his character. So, say you have Sun trine Neptune, you're liable to get a really artistic, spiritually inclined spouse. If it's square Neptune, you'll probably get somebody who's the opposite of that. Someone who, maybe you'll be the spiritual person and they're, you know, not really into that. Okay? So the aspects and the aspects are really gonna show a lot of their character as well. And as for women, it's just a natural thing. You'll probably find a husband or just partners who have a lot of qualities of your father. And whether the relationship with your father was good or not, you're still going to seek these things out. All right. And one thing with this one, you know, this could happen in like any house, but it really, really happens in the seventh house for a woman. If you don't have that connection with father, you, especially for like a sun in Cancer here, you would definitely be attracted. You would be attracted to older types. You would try to capture that essence of the relationship with your father through your romantic relationship. So that's a major player, a major factor for women, I should say. Now, when it comes on to career, this is where I'm going to go back to saying the career, the team player aspect, and also like it's not about you. Okay, say somebody with sun in this. Oh, got a great one. Somebody with sun in the seventh, right? If they can experience fame. They can experience fame for sure. But this fame is more than likely not going to come on their own. They're going to be a part of some type of group. So, Sun in the seventh is excellent for someone who is a part of, like, a singing group, a sports team. All right. It's about being a team player. You achieve success. You realize yourself through your union with others. All right. So, as I said, we're going to pay attention to the sign. We're going to pay attention to the sign because if this is an air, this is amplified. This is amplified. You will not want to experience success without another person. All right. So, you know, with Sun in the seventh, it's whatever sign it is, we're going to look at that ruler. But still, with this one, we need to pay attention to Venus because Venus is relationships, and Venus is going to strongly, even if it's not ruling Sun, it's still going to be a large part of our identity because you seek to realize yourself through relationships. So the planet that expresses your quality of relationships will be fairly important. All right. So just looking at the elemental, like from the elements, you want to match. You want to see. I would say take your sun, moon, and Venus, and just see what kind of partner you really, really need. And you can really learn a lot about your wants and desires from this, because like I said, with Sun here, we already know that I just want to be I just want to be with somebody. I'm gonna feel purposeful when I'm in a relationship with somebody. By studying your Venus sign specifically, you'll see the quality of relationship that you'll attract and that ultimately you'll need to attract. All right. And then from there, just be honest about yourself about what you really want. All right. Now, another thing that that's why I said in my example earlier of, let's say, you're that type of person in previous incarnations, you weren't really fair and you didn't really, or you exerted your ego too much over people. One of the effects that's going to happen in this incarnation is that you're gonna really experience the other side of that karma, where people aren't going, when you do try to exert that ego once again, people aren't going to um be open to it. They're gonna shut your shit down. They're gonna remind you, like, okay, we're a team here, you're not the boss. Okay, so it's gonna be constant reminders, because the soul needs to learn this lesson. So it's just going to be where you'll get the most out of this position when you're balanced within yourself and your relationships and you're being fair. All right. So it's natural, career wise, it's natural for a lawyer to be here. Like I said, anybody in a group, whether it be, a sport team or, maybe a music group, band, something like that. And overall, it just, like, career wise, you're going to find happiness in a secondary role, if that makes any sense. All right, you'll find in whatever you do, you'll realize the value of other people and how they helped you achieve it. All right, let me think of anything else. I think I pretty much covered it for guys, just because I talked about the ladies. For you guys, like I said, just pay attention to your moon and your Venus more to see what kind of partner you need. But overall, I think I got it all, guys. So this is my interpretation of the Sun in the seventh house. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, peace.